Washington Journal continues.
Joining us now is Luanne Zurlo. She's the Executive Director of the World Education and Development Fund. Welcome.
Thank you.
Just to set the stage, what is the World Education and Development Fund?
The World Education and Development Fund, it's a 501c3 registered public charity. We're based in New York City, and our key mission is to support education programs hitting poor K-12 kids throughout Latin America. So effectively, it's to raise the level of education amongst poor children throughout the region.
She had a 9-year career as a securities analyst on Wall Street, working for such firms as Smith Barney, CSFB, and Goldman Sachs. How do you make the jump from one to the other?
It was a big jump. The career that you just cited, most of that was spent following Latin corporates, particularly telecommunications companies throughout the region. So I spent quite a bit of time down there, and it was just, it was alarming to me, the education gap, which was apparent. And I'll never forget, actually, a meeting I had with the head of an auto company down in southern Brazil, in Curitiba, actually, who they invested in a part of Brazil that was the best educated area of Brazil in the south, even though the tax advantages would have been much greater in the northeast of Brazil. And they did so because it was the best educated portion of the population. However, their number one problem was still finding a high enough quality worker to work in their auto assembly plant. It was a challenge for them, and I heard that over and over again in Mexico as well. So ultimately, that's what kind of led me to decide to try to reorient myself towards trying to add some value with respect to what I think is the single most important issue thwarting economic and social development in Latin America, and that is the poor education level of its citizens.
Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I don't care about Mexico. Leave them tax all the people down there to educate their kids. And I don't want them coming up here. I want it stopped at the border, even if we have to send our troops down there.
We're not suggesting that we should raise American property taxes, and believe me, I pay American property taxes to educate Mexicans. However, it's an issue that, whether we like it or not, impacts us. We've got thousands of miles of a contiguous border with Mexico, with a population that is extremely young and growing, such that you're going to get 1.5 million, it's estimated, new workers per year, and they're going to be seeking employment, which they can't find in Mexico. We're going to continue to be inundated with people seeking residence and jobs in the U.S. So whether we like it or not, it impacts us. I'm not even speaking the moral, ethical issue of, it's everyone's human right to receive a basic education. But just purely from practical, economic, and social reasons, this is an issue that impacts Americans and will continue to impact us. Most of our monies come from private sources, and insofar as people choose to make philanthropic donations, whether they be corporates or individuals, what we're suggesting is look at the education situation in the region and perhaps reallocate some of your philanthropic dollars to that cause.
If you're interested in learning more about the organization, it is worldfund.org is the website. And if you go to that, you can find out about how they run and what they do. Luanne Zurlo, pardon me, is the Executive Director. She's joined us. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.